Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
I'm a relationship hacker.
Run up and get touched up, suicide. And all of y'all know my style. I excel, then prevail. Run up and get touched up, suicide, that's it. And all of y'all know my style. I excel, then prevail.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's 11 a.m. Hey, here we go. Another ZOWHAT morning show. You know I got a great one. It's about to be amazing because it's a topic that is necessary. You know, it's necessary. And I had to do it because, you know, Jeff Brown always says something that I think is pretty interesting. He says, if white America has a cold, African America has full-blown stage 19 pancreatic cancer. Like, we got the whole situation.
You dying this evening.
We dying. So I had to do this topic, but before I even get to the topic, you already understand what I do. I like to promote businesses that, you know, may not have an opportunity to do anything. So it's important that I give them shout outs. And one of the businesses that I'm riding heavy with is Android Ohm. Sorry to our YouTube people, because we are on Wi-Fi, you can't see us. You'll be able to see the voice of reason tonight because there's an Ethernet connection in that studio. This studio here just doesn't have it anymore. Used to have it. You used to be able to see the ZOWHAT morning show, but you can't now. Because they just took the Ethernet cord out and said, you know, figure it out with Wi-Fi. Well, that's fine. Okay, so you won't be able to see this anymore, apparently. Because the Wi-Fi, you know, it's just not going to work. All right, cool. So let me promote this company, though. Android Ohm. Yesterday, they had, what did they have? They had, what was that, Black Friday? You know, that little holiday right after Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving, where everybody's beating the shit out of each other in the store.
They had Black Friday. Well, fortunately, their shit is online. Android, like the phone. Home, HOMME.com. Android Ohm. Luxury sneaker brand. I love these dudes, man. I love them. Some of our people bought shoes and all types of things from them over this, you know, Thanksgiving holiday. And it was hella cool. You know, I seen a lot of people.
Early Christmas shopping.
Yeah, a lot of people were supporting them, man, big time. So I was excited about it. You know what it is. I love it when people are supportive of these small businesses that are trying to just get their way out. Android Ohm, man, they look at these shoes.
Yeah,
right
some
here.
dope shoes actually.
This black python.
Yeah, what is that made of?
Yikes. I think it's all made of bison or something like that.
Man.
Android Ohm, made in Italy.
So the chain, though.
Yeah, the brother, he designs them here in LA.
That's not an everyday shoe.
You don't wear this every day. No. This is for
That's when you're killing the game.
this is for the Motown 25 Michael Jackson moonwalk. That's what you wear those for.
You trying to kill the game.
And these are for my son Naeem.
A word?
Yeah, he wears a size 12, so I got him a pair. The Stingray collection. I wish you guys could see it. Jesus.
Oh, these are off the chain.
They
Damn.
slick, right?
Oh, snap. What?
They hella slick. Yeah? That's your phone on?
Is it?
Yeah, you know how you do. You just come in here and you're disrespectful. It's all right.
Am I?
Yeah.
That's how I get down, baby.
Kevin.
That's how I get down, baby.
Nah, but AndroidOhm.com. Go there now. If you use the Zoe Williams code, ZOWILLIAMS, what you're going to get is a 25% discount. So, go there now. A lot of people have been purchasing their things, so you should go there now and support them. Also, Total Package Energy. I'm on it right now. I'm always on it. Total Package Energy is the best energy shot in the world. If you go to totalpackageenergy.com, order yours now. Let them know that Zoe Williams is your representative. I think the brother would be throwing in free stuff. Like when you order Total Package Energy and you say Zoe Williams put me on.
What, 25%? What?
Nah, he just throws in free stuff.
Oh.
He throws in free bottles.
Oh shit.
We're trying to get 30 cases of this. Put that on camera so we can see that.
Did you say we're not on camera?
We on my Facebook. Let's see. Right now, let me see. Over here, Kev. What the hell?
Oh.
Total Package Energy, my peoples. Y'all got to support that brand. Zoe is always supporting them. The best energy shot in the world, designed for high-level athletes, but I suggest drivers. People who are truck drivers.
Heavy machinery.
Man, you better get on this
night.
shit. You better get on this. You know what I mean? This keeps you alert, keeps you awake. Kev, you used it before.
Used it yesterday.
Oh, you got extra bottles, I see.
I just don't drink them all. I don't need that energy like that. I work out all the time. I only need it when I'm doing some extra.
What extra was you doing?
What's her name?
When I'm doing some extra.
Oh, I see. Exactly. Mark got it right. What's her name?
I ain't said nothing about nothing.
You ain't said nothing about
I
nothing?
ain't said that's what I needed it for.
Give me a bottle. Give me that damn bottle. You over here using Total Package Energy?
That's not. I didn't say that's what I needed it for.
For the
that's what you
libido?
said. That's what you said.
On the libido side of the game. Yeah, Android Home, Total Package Energy. I love supporting these brands. I love supporting what they do. You know what I mean? There's also Mind-Blowing Mobiles.
Yep.
Wanda Trotter supports us as well. Wanda Trotter created the Zoe Williams app. If you're within the sound of my voice right now, I want you to pull out your cell phone and go to, if it's an Android, the Google Play Store. If it's an Apple, it's the Apple Store.
iTunes
Store. Jesus. Right. Go over there and download the Zoe Williams apps. That's ZOWILLIAMS. Zoe Williams, no spaces. Fly app. If you're a small business owner, I'm gonna tell you right now, you gotta get it. You gotta make it work. You gotta have an app. The app is the new ATM.
Yep.
The app is the new cashier.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So you gotta do that. You gotta support it. Today's topic is gonna be bananas. I got a couple more things to promote. Oh, watch this. 20 physical copies remain. 20 physical copies are left. I'm not going to reprint any more of these.
It's a wrap.
That's it. The Relationship Dismount, How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship. If you want a copy right now, right? I already mentioned Android. If you're listening, I mentioned Android. The app is available on the Android. Turn the bottles this way so they can see. Because that camera is not working right now because we're on Wi-Fi. We do not have our Ethernet connection, so there will be no live video today. I'm just doing this on damn Facebook just cuz. And you know we got We Juice in the building. This brother always provide. This is a ginger grenade. Apple, ginger, lemon, pear. We Juice, that's OUIJUICE, WeJuice.com. Baby, I'm a Star and Purple Rain. Yay! There we go. So, again, this is the community empowerment segment. We are done promoting the community empowerment segment. What we're going to do right now is take a quick break. And when we return, oh, sorry.
See how you
Kevin.
do that? See how you do?
Kevin, this is my show, nigga.
See how you do?
You gonna have to start promoting on your
our show, bro.
No, this is my show.
It's our show.
No,
bro.
this is mine.
There's no such thing as me and I in the
Mark.
universe, partner.
Cut his microphone off. Just cut his microphone off real quick so he'll know. Go ahead, Mark. Now I done told you. Now, there you go. That'll let you know. now, turn his mic back on.
Let me know what. Let me know.
Now go on, promote your shit now.
This nigga lost his mind.
What did that prove?
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Do it one more time.
Don't make me leap across this table, nigga.
It don't matter, nigga. Leap on, nigga. You feel froggish.
Give you a lesson right now, nigga.
You feel froggish, nigga. Leap on.
Hey, lesson time. No, you guys, the Dragon Moore and the Phoenix Moore, the Dragon and the Phoenix video is almost done. I've been working hard like a motherfucker for the last 3 weeks. And that video or that documentary will only be ready on patreon.com. Okay, that's Patreon at Patreon/Real Noggins. If you want to peep that video, please sign up or subscribe and check that out. That's part one. Actually, it's 2 parts to that. So go ahead and subscribe to that. Also, when you do subscribe, part of that money goes to the Cop Stop Guardian app. Okay, please get out there. We're trying to do this. We're going to do it. And we still need that 15 grand. Or if you just want to donate, go to GoFundMe.com/CopStopGuardian and donate. But get over there. If you want to see this video is going to be epic. This documentary is going to be epic. So if you want to see it, go to patreon.com and hit me up.
And look who walks in casually late. I just want him on camera walking in. He sauntered in. It's Jeff Brown. He has 2 bags of chips, flaming hot chips with a gallon of alkaline water. This nigga is yin and yang for real.
Yes, alkaline water. Yeah.
Yin and yang. Oh my God. Come on in here. Sit. Hey, listen. Today is about to be crazy. Today is about to be an amazing show. We're going to take a quick break. And when we return, today's topic. And people who are on Facebook going to see us in here clowning during the break. So go ahead. Take us to break real quick. We'll be back at 2.2. So What Morning Show. Ladies and gentlemen, the So What Morning Show is back in the building. We have an amazing topic today. After we promoted our businesses, Total Package Energy, We Juice, Android Home. Look at these kicks. And Jeff Brown has joined us. Jeff
That's
Brown
my
is
speed.
he's hella touchy feely.
Oh my God, this is probably Zoe's. You know what?
It is.
This
course
is
they
fly
are.
as shit, bro.
Of course they are.
Oh, but look at these though. Look at these.
Oh,
on
you
my feet.
laced. You laced, pimp.
Look at these on my feet.
Oh my God.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, then you don't really need these, so I'm gonna take them home, put some newspaper in them.
You can't take none.
I
huh?
need to put some newspaper in these. That's the old school trick.
They
You shoot too
already,
big?
they kind of stuffed already.
Okay, well, I flatten that newspaper. I'll put my little 10 and a half in this 13. to keep
This
it
is a
moving.
12. You can't do nothing with this.
This is a 12.
You'll run around look like a high fashion Ronald McDonald. I don't.
With a 12, see, I wear a 10 and a half. I put this 12 on and keep a straight razor in my sock. I got room in my sock for a knife.
Man, this nigga's part dolphin. He got fins. I'm sorry.
Part dolphin.
Sorry. Welcome back. We're here. We ready for this topic, man.
Thank you, Wayne.
Listen, if you're just tuning into the ZOWHAT Morning Show, you know we cover all types of social issues and relationships. That was me over here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what are you fucking with the music for?
I know. You love the music. I'm sorry.
Shout out to Broadway, yes?
James Brown.
Oh my God.
You know what he does. He does this thing.
I say he's better than Dre.
Ooh, don't. Let's not start a war.
By myself, y'all.
Jesus. Okay. So look, today's topic, technological unemployment or Industry 4.0.
Whoa.
Right? A deeper look at the rise of the fourth industrial revolution and how technology is destroying jobs. First off, why would I create a topic like this?
Because you're a meddling busybody.
Let me just say this, man. One of the biggest issues in the black community is the quality of our relationships. And did you know, and most people know this, 75%, I think it's 75% of all marriages end over money. Relationships end over money. Money's the problem.
That imaginary shit destroys your real shit.
You under dig? So how does this apply to relationships? Because black people, our relationships be terrible. We be, the standards and shit we got come from white people, come from the dominant society. We want the picket fence because they said the picket fence was what you're supposed to have.
Right?
Then
Damn jail.
I was just explaining that our sisters are doing really well within the construct of society, but yet they create their own cognitive dissonance because they don't really recognize that they're Renaissance women. They still have some old-fashioned, I'ma have a relationship like my grandmama and them. Your grandmama and them
Right.
from another generation.
Exactly. A whole nother time.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you. Why don't you still use a beeper?
No, but do you understand? So I was like, we have to clear up some shit so they can change their relationship standards so it can fit what's going on. Most sisters in the world, you'd be hard pressed to find a sister or a brother that knows what the fuck Industry 4.0 means. Let's ask my man down at the end, Hassan. Hassan, do you know what Industry 4.0 is?
No, I do not.
Most black people don't know what the fuck that is. But they know what Black Friday is.
Yeah, that's,
They did.
Yeah.
They understand that bullshit.
Man.
Listen, do you know how much pressure the holidays put on you to perform?
Let me tell you something.
Ridiculous.
You can't buy an Xbox, you must not love your kid.
Nigga, you don't love your kids if you can't buy an Xbox. Clearly. If you're not participating in the holidays, nigga.
Oh, that's base level. Now, how much you love them? How many games did you
Right.
get?
Wow.
And what shoes they gonna wear while they playing?
How about it?
What? Why they playing?
Oh, while they playing them.
Why they
While they
playing?
playing them. Okay, how
While
come-
they playing the game.
While they
play
playing
the
a game inside that costs you almost
Right.
$1,000. If you got more than 2 kids, you about to spend $5 on them Jordans that they
insane.
wearing inside the house.
Ridiculous.
And these are the same people that you make your words weigh what their words weigh, so they see you as peers as opposed to
Ooh.
the adults guiding them.
Yeah.
That's why. That's why.
So I'm coming back to the relationship standards. And the reason why they don't work is because you got expectations that are unrealistic based off of the time you live in. So let me break it down. Jeff, put all my shit down.
It's hijacking everything.
Everything that
oh
belongs,
my shit down.
put everything that belongs to me
Stop
down.
with your shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Yes. Shenanigans is when you steal your relatives'
I gotta
jewelry.
use that. I gotta use
Shenanigans.
Oh yes, I'm working on shenanigans.
Oh my God.
Here's,
That's
shenanigan versus shenanigan number 1. Shenanigans is when you steal from your own family in their house.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans is when you steal from your own family in their house and then you help them look for that shit.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
One more. Give us some more shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Please write this book. Please write this book.
Shenanigans.
Please write this book.
Shenanigans is when you go out and spend more money on your shoes than you have for the rest of your wardrobe.
Okay, so that's a shenanigan.
Shenanigans.
Okay.
Shenanigans is when you spend more money on your shoes than your light bill costs and you sitting around in the fucking dark. Sharp. Shenanigans.
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 Hashtag shenanigans, y'all.
That's the new shit now. It's
Seriously.
over. Shenanigans.
It's over. That's
It's
a
been
wrap.
coined.
It's it.
So really quickly, before I throw the questions out for us to really go in, this right here is happening.
Shenanigans is when your cell phone
This is
ring while you on the
shenanigans.
radio.
No, this is shenanigans.
Shenanigans is when you answer. I will not be a part of the shenanigans right now.
Oh my God.
Put that
funny as shit.
shenanigan bullshit down.
That's hilarious.
Shenanigans
when
versus
you answer it.
shenanigans.
Shenanigans versus shenanigans.
If that, hey,
I
let me
gotta
tell
see
you.
that book.
Let me tell you right now. If that's not your topic,
Man.
Thursday, I'm gonna be mad at you. If that's not
Thursday.
Thursday.
On the inappropriate hour.
Shenanigans versus shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
yes, that's it.
Okay.
So back to the topic. That little comedy interlude by Jeff
comedy
Brown.
break.
I
was
loved
awesome.
it. I
That was
loved it.
awesome.
I loved it.
Little comedy nugget.
And I loved it.
That was awesome.
So, Industry 4.0. What this is basically saying is this is the fourth time there has been a significant
Fourth iteration.
technological jump that makes work easier for human beings
On a grand scale.
on a grand scale.
Right.
The first time was the steam engine. Steam.
Right.
Steam powered engines.
Right.
Now during the steam engine time, we were still in horse and carriage. The little chariots,
Right.
you know, not a chariot, but the little carriage.
How much it cost you to get all the way to Missouri? 15 apples.
15 apples, right? Number two, the second iteration
It was a Swiffer.
of industry. No, it
Swiffer.
wasn't the Swiffer.
Wasn't Swiffer.
No. The second
On
one
fire.
was electricity. We went from steam to electricity,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
right? The next one is in the 70s and 80s. Computers.
Computer.
And now we are in the fourth iteration. Now, with every iteration, whole sectors of work was
Disappeared.
gone.
Yep.
Who makes buggy whips now?
Right. Nobody's making buggy whips no more. That job is over with.
Job's over with.
The blacksmith, that nigga gone. You understand?
Ain't nobody on their cell phone talking about, Caretha, I'll be home when I get off work. Tank. Yeah, that dude's gone.
He gone. Okay? He gone. Now,
I fix wagon wheels. Nobody gives a fuck.
yeah, it's all that's over.
I make covered wagon covers. Nobody gives a
The computer did the computing for us. No need for pencil and paper no more to compute no more. The computer can compute for us. That's it. Thus its name.
Right.
The computer. Now you got supercomputers.
Right.
Now you have quantum computers coming into play. So it's a lot of shit going on. And with each, you see, this is what motherfuckers don't understand. Back in the 60s or 70s, there was this guy named Moore. He created Moore's Law, which basically said every 2 years, the space on a transistor doubles, meaning more little
Stuff can get in there.
components gets into that little space. It doubles.
Right.
That was in the 60s, my nigga.
Right.
Technology doubles now every 6 months. And anytime technology doubles, so do the what they call the like when you like what was the old saying? One answer leads to a million other questions. Exactly. That's the same thing that's happening during the fourth industrial age. The motherfucker who used to feel real proud for having that stock job late at night at Ralph's.
Right.
Computers can stock that shit faster and more efficiently than you, and won't fuck the coworker in the bathroom.
How about it?
Or Calvin.
Won't be sleep. Won't be
You won't be
sleepy.
sleep on the loaf of bread.
Ain't gonna hang over. Ain't gonna ask for a raise.
So what's happening now is work is disappearing. So when you find somebody like Denzel Washington, who we all respect as one of the greatest actors of all time, saying dumb shit from the 60s, it ain't the system, it's what happens at home. Let me tell you what happens at home. Homes that don't have the knowledge that they live in the fourth industrial age.
How about it?
That's what's really killing us.
And somebody at home to go, God damn it, stop what we doing. We live in the industrial age, and you finna do the right shit, and that's that. There is no Mr. Bad News.
How about it?
There's no Mr. Father's number one job. is bad news. Daddy, it's a rat in the garage. Daddy, mama car got a flat tire. Daddy, some niggas done broke in here. Daddy, the dog done took a shit in the garage. That's all you. If there's nobody to give bad news, then it's really hard to get good results.
Wow. So the world is changing. So if the world is changing and technology is radically reforming our lives, why is it taking us so fucking long to reform our relationship beliefs? It don't make sense to say go get a job when work itself is being
changing.
Redefined.
What is a job?
What is a job now? The universal basic income is on the table.
Right.
You know what that means? That's a universal welfare check so motherfuckers could just live.
Right.
That's on the table. Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, they're all in favor of. They're saying, shit, the computers and automation and machine. Look what happened to Detroit. Ford had Detroit popping.
Yep.
When niggas could build a car. GM. That shit's over, my nigga. And then, and listen, here's the stat. By 2020, which is less than 3 years away. That's less. This shit is just a little bit over 2 years away. 2020, they're saying 50% of the jobs, my nigga, will be taken over by machines. And they're calling this particular takeover technological unemployment. Machines do my job now.
Yep.
So, sister, how can you judge a nigga by his bootstraps when they digital now?
Right.
It's the same thing. Jeff says, how you gonna judge a man when the dollar collapses? This is gonna happen before the dollar collapses, by the way. Right? Technological unemployment is coming down the pike.
Right, yeah.
A major country that's doing it right now is Japan. And Japan are them Japanese is some hardworking motherfuckers. And they have a term. I forgot what the term is, but it's a term of pride with regards to working.
Oh yeah.
If they can't work,
shit, I can't remember.
I forgot the term.
Bro, on that.
But if they can't work,
yes.
It's like
Shame.
national shame, national embarrassment.
Dude,
you're not even a citizen if you can't work.
On that subject, I was stationed in Okinawa from December of 86 to June of 87. And I went on a tour, and it's called
Bushido. That's the word.
Bushido, which is actually also the way of the warrior. I went.
Then this might not be the word. This nigga just threw this word out here.
Life in Japan. You stupid. The Japanese worker, when he works at a plant, the young worker who is coming in, let's just say his last name is Hirohito. He ain't the first Hirohito.
I watched Heroes.
At Nissan plant.
Hirohito.
His father worked here. His grandfather worked here. His grandfather before him. And they all have a family name that you have to uphold in this particular business, which is why a Japanese worker will come to work a half hour early, work, clock in, work, clock out, and come back and work another half hour.
Oh, no, for real.
Yep.
On the real.
They're conditioned to work on their day off. They're conditioned to work overtime. They're conditioned to work while they're sick. And now they're having to recondition that whole population because of automation.
How about it? I used to say that somebody asked me, this I got in a big fight on Facebook. Are the Japanese superior to black people? And I said, absolutely. Not physically, socially. You know why? Because they have shame. Niggas have lost their shame.
Well, they still have a country too.
Right.
They get to say, I'm Japanese.
Right.
A culture.
Right.
And,
all that other shit.
We get to say niggas say we're as American as a hot dog.
Right.
Right.
Where you from? Fort Wayne. Yeah, okay.
So again, work is being redefined. And the elite are basically saying, we're going to bring in UBI, Universal Basic Income. We're going to give you like $10,000 a year, which will serve as a supplement to your Uber gig. Uber's paying you $2 an hour. Right. People don't understand that. Uber pays $2 an hour. There are people turning away Uber fares because, oh, this is an hour-long drive through traffic and it's only going to give me $14. This is what I'm saying. The crux of what's wrong with Black America is we don't know what era we live in.
Right.
We don't know what part of society we live in. And that is what's preventing us from relating. You get Denzel. First off, Denzel, didn't I tell people this before? I said, go get the book by Daniel Pink, A Whole New Mind. In that book, this book is 98, somewhere 98, 99, early 2000 maybe. A whole new mind. In that book, he says, listen, all the technical and the white collar jobs are becoming blue collar jobs. So you used to sit in a cubicle and you used to feel good about being in that cubicle and you got a white collar job. All that shit's changing now. He said the people that are going to rule the world are the creatives, the right-brained people. You understand? Technology has already made it possible for a fucking Hyundai to make a car that can perform as well as an Audi.
Right. Google got the car that drives by itself.
I'm cover that in the rant.
But technology has already made it easy for Hyundai to come through and go, nigga, did you see the new Sonata?
Right.
You understand? So again,
Hyundai ain't the baby mama mobile no more.
What they starting to find out now is with technology, we don't need somebody with an MBA. We need somebody with an MFA, Masters of Fine Art, because I need the next artist to come in here and design some hips for this car.
Right.
I need somebody to come in here and design a mean grill for this car, a grill that looks like a piranha.
Right.
Yeah, piranha. But the back of the car got to look like bandana. You know,
right.
We got it. That's what they want. They want
2020 badonkadonk.
Right. They want you to be moved emotionally, and only art can do that. And that's what the computers can't do.
Wow.
The computers are not creative.
That's right.
But all of the jobs that gave you a bad attitude. You know that motherfucker at the DMV with an attitude, been there for 15 years.
Thank you, Jesus.
Your job about to be replaced, you stuck up bitch.
Lord.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes.
Or the motherfucker at the post office.
Death to the DMV.
You have packaged this all wrong. Go back to the back of the line. Really?
You know what make them
Your
salty?
job's about to be gone, bitch.
You know what make them kind of people salty? Is because there's never a version of progress when you have those jobs. No matter how many fucking packages you sent out when you work at the post office, it's gonna be a room full of packages tomorrow.
Right.
Yep.
Now multiply that times 30 years.
Wow.
No matter how fast or how courteous or how efficient you are with these people in the line at the DMV, it's gonna be another line just like this tomorrow of basically people who don't have enough money to send another motherfucker here. That's who at the DMV.
Right.
You ain't no rich people. You ever see rich people at the DMV? When the last time you seen somebody spot a celebrity at the DMV? They don't do that shit. This is for commoners and worms and ants.
So again, I got questions. Technological unemployment, or Industry 4.0, a deeper look at the rise of the fourth industrial revolution and how technology may be destroying jobs. Now, we had Obama. The American economy is the most reliable and robust in the world. He's saying that, but all the news pundits are saying this is the worst recovery we've ever been in. See, we live in a fantasy where people are trying to make us believe something that just ain't true. Number one,
it's 1958.
it's not 1958. Those jobs
It's gone.
are leaving. Now the questions are you ridiculously overqualified at your current job, but you can't survive without it?
Damn.
Oh, Lord, this is real.
Jesus.
Because we're not even going to talk about how this is the most educated generation in the history of mankind. But as soon as you come out, you're saddled with debt and you can't find a job. The other stat is 70% of children under the age of 30 live with their parents. But you're the most educated.
Right.
You better make as much money as I make, and you better have what I have plus some, and you better open the door, and you better be a protector and a provider. Listen, all of that's going away.
Right.
What kind of relationship are you gonna have?
I don't open the door for you because it's infrared activated. It opens itself.
But do you understand what I'm saying? Human labor is slowly losing its value. You don't have to pay a machine. Listen, if they will outsource jobs to India, why wouldn't they outsource jobs to a machine? Now, ask yourself a question. I be asking people this in my relationship counselings. So, what are your top 5 limiting beliefs about relationships? Well, I'm too nice. Yes, I'm too nice. That's your problem? What about you fantasize about shit that ain't real?
Yeah.
And then you get disappointed when the fantasy don't come to life.
I call it great pumpkinism.
You can't call great
Great pumpkinism. That's what Jesus, the Easter Bunny, they're all over there with the great pumpkin.
Great pumpkinism.
Great pumpkinism.
Nigga.
Great pumpkin. That said, motherfucker coming. Ain't he great pumpkin? Is he here yet? He been coming since I was 6. I ain't seen it.
And see, that's another thing we have to touch on.
Jesus been coming since I was about 6, 7.
That's another thing we have to touch on. You can't call a fantasy, a limited belief, a broken ideation, a broken imagination, the law of attraction. That's 2 different things, my nigga.
I will not allow you to go any further. You will repeat that shit. Say that again.
I'm just saying, like, bullshit is not the law of attraction. I love the way Robert Anton Wilson broke it down.
What'd he say? What Anton? What Robert Anton said?
Robert Anton Wilson is a fool. That motherfucker is funny as hell. I gotta find. He calls it self-hypnotic ideational trance.
That sounds like a Parliament song.
So listen to how it breaks down. It's an acronym: self-hypnotic ideational trance, aka shit. A mind full of your own shit. You are in a self-induced, hypnotic, ideational trance. You think everything you think is the truth.
Self-hypnotic.
But if you don't understand what the fuck is going on in the world, these motherfuckers are having global Bilderberger conversations about UBI, universal basic income, because you know what? Universal basic income is about to become the global marijuana. Meaning, how they say, well, we can't legalize marijuana because marijuana might make motherfuckers lazy. Well, one of the things that they're coming with for UBI is we can't give niggas money, just a stipend for living, because what is a human being without purpose? This is going back to, what's your purpose? You know how many motherfuckers is defined by what they do? Even if what they do is menial,
Right. Bullshit.
all you got to do is go back and look at the movie The Butler. Nigga, I was a damn good butler though.
Right.
Got you through college.
Right.
All that shit's about to mean nothing.
Right. I don't have the courage to be complex, so I have to hyper importantalize something menial. That's the same shit that happens in jail. That's how you get shanked over a soap dish.
Wow.
Okay.
What happens to the value of your degree when the computer and the robot is still smarter and more efficient.
R2D2 finna show you that diploma is actually a receipt.
That's all that is.
Sheepskin receipt.
That's it. Do you have multiple degrees yet still find yourself having to drive Uber or Lyft?
Nigga, that diploma is a bill.
You under
You
there?
owe me
Those
$175,000.
jobs are leaving too. They
They leaving too.
No, they just created a car that can fly, but Uber. It's an electronic car. They
Exactly.
just made that shit like a couple months ago.
Wow.
Test flew it, and now they made it. They made one big enough to carry people, like a van, like a minivan one. So
Wow.
Ubers are about to be gone.
Is
That's a wrap.
humanity headed for institutional dependence? Fuck it. You can't do these jobs. We can't rely on you enough to do these jobs. Fuck you and your dreams. We'll just pay you until you die. Because money don't mean shit anyway, right? This is why they could create a Bitcoin.
Yeah.
This is why they could create, just fuck it, make another kind of currency. Oh, shit, have these niggas fight over it.
All currency is an agreement. It's an agreement.
Yep.
That's it.
We agreed that $1
Yep.
is not enough to buy a house, but it's too much to pay for a paperclip. It's an agreement.
Wow.
That's it.
That's it. We just agree.
Yep. You can do that same thing with a pen or a shoe.
Anything.
Or anything.
This is the standard. This one is worth
This is worth
$1 million.
shekels.
Yeah.
This is 89 shekels.
Right.
And 1 shekel is worth 35
All it is,
ducats.
One shekel.
all it is the
shekel.
ability to get enough people to believe, hear ye, hear ye.
You
Wow.
think about money used to be a stick. You used to carry a stick
Right,
around and
Yeah.
cut it in
right.
half, and then they would keep one stick on record, and then you would carry around the other
The
stick.
other
And when you
stick.
did a transaction, you would cut a notch in the stick, and they would put them together, and then see if they matched up. It would stick for like a long ass time too, like about 100 years.
I got sticks, bitch. I
Like,
got
so
sticks,
you-
bitches.
That was
I ain't got stacks. I got sticks, bitch. You under dig?
Right.
I'm winning over here with
Right.
the sticks.
smack you with my money,
I will
bitch.
jump on you.
I got firewood,
over
ho.
here. I'm winning over here.
Money to burn, bitch.
I got it over here. I keep you warm with these sticks, bitch.
I keep you warm.
True or false? The future of work doesn't need human labor. See, why is this an important question? Because so much about manhood is predicated on provision. So much about manhood is predicated on the ability to work. And now women get to say, you ain't shit because you ain't got a job. Or they get to demean what kind of job you have. But now, all this shit is changing. The reason why our relationships are fucked up is because commerce has too much to do with it. Capitalism has too much say in your intimate spiritual relating.
Wow.
This is why most relationships aren't spiritual, which is the purpose of them in the first place.
Yep.
Most relationships are about power struggles, power dynamics, and whoever has the most resources gets to tell the other person, shut the fuck up. And the person with the least amount of resources finds themselves capitulating the most.
Yes.
Oh, well, I don't want to, shit.
Well, that person has to, the person with the least amount of resources, which one is a self-fulfilling prophecy. The person with the least amount of resources has to capitulate if they are not connected to source. Once you connect
Right.
to source, but if you were connected to source in the begin with,
But see, hold on.
you wouldn't be.
Hold on. I'm finna
Ooh,
hit
in
you
to
with,
begin with.
I'm about to hit you with the Star Wars.
Uh-oh.
You're Darth Vader. This nigga's on that old religious shit. You remember how in Star Wars, all this nigga's commanders or his underlings were like, Darth Vader is on some religious shit. He's on the old Jedi shit. That shit is dead. You know. Again, then he had to choke a nigga.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking shit?
Okay.
Let me choke. Yeah, let me show you how real this shit is.
Let me
Grab your vocal cords from across the street.
thought choke the shit out you.
But again,
I'm about
the
to thought slap
spiritual
these bitches.
conversation about relationship is in the background as, nigga, that don't mean nothing. The business, the capitalistic part of relationship takes the forefront because we live in a capitalistic society.
Damn.
So everything is predicated on work, what you do, what school you went to, what status. All this status shit is about to go. When we look at some of the work that Antonio Moore is doing when he's talking about wealth calcification and the wealth gap, do you know that UBI is set up for the wealthy too?
Of course.
Meaning they get a fucking stipend as well? Wait a minute, you already wealthy and you getting the same check that I'm getting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I'm gonna let it build up. I'm not touching that stipend you living on. I'm letting it stack.
No.
So when the next thing happens, I'm gonna put all that over there.
But it don't even matter. It's like you don't need it. Why would you get it if you don't? It's a universal welfare check because work as we know it is
Leaving,
dying.
It's dissolving.
True or false? 28 million people have a 96% chance of losing their jobs to machines in the coming year. Coming years. 28 million people unemployed. Now look at this. According to a recent study, if the city of Los Angeles raised the rents in downtown Los Angeles by 5%, 65% of downtown Los Angeles will be homeless. What the fuck is going on? You ain't a man. Nigga, I'm not the man who's creating these rules, but I'm a man. Where does crime come from? Does anybody know? Where does crime come from?
Criminals?
Desperation.
Typically desperation and lack.
Oh yeah.
A wealthy motherfucker. Listen,
Well, wait a minute.
watch this. Watch this.
You mean low-level crime?
Right.
I'm talking about the crime around the corner from
Okay,
here.
crime around the corner.
Poverty. Niggas who don't have.
Right.
Crime is created by the elite because they want to stay elite.
Right.
So they have to create legal barriers. They have to create educational barriers. They got to create a lot of barriers to keep the classes separate. Because if they made opportunities available for everybody, then they would see the motherfuckers that they once thought were beneath them at the country club with them.
Dude, it's social stratification. They have to keep
They
it like
gotta
that.
do that. Look at all of these. Listen, there's some research out there about HBCU students.
Oh Lord.
HBCU students, probably some of the best educated students in America, in the world. These motherfuckers compete with Harvard. They compete with Princeton, all the Ivy Leagues. You go to motherfucking Hampton. You go to Howard. You go to Fisk.
Tuskegee.
Tuskegee.
Best
These
veterinary
motherfuckers,
school in America. Tuskegee.
these motherfuckers coming out of there brilliant.
Right.
Yes.
But guess what? Try to transfer your credits from a HBCU
To Princeton.
to Pac-12,
Damn.
to SEC. Try to transfer the motherfucking credits. And be like, none of this shit count. You got to start over when you get here, my nigga.
Silly Negro. No one cares about your monkey.
Why
shines.
is it that way?
That's some bullshit.
What the fuck? Yeah, there's certain barriers in place on purpose to keep you stratified. Sisters, number one educated motherfuckers in the game. They graduating more than everybody. They going to college more than everybody. They banging. They working hard. They doing they motherfucking thing. The only thing that I have a problem with the sisters is stop judging niggas by the poisonous system that give you accolades.
How about it?
You can't say you're against white supremacy and then go, yay, education. Because education is part of the white supremacist movement.
Right.
How so, Zoe? Well, guess what?
Well,
The average high school white dropout is worth more than the average black college graduate.
Look at Obama. Obama / Donald Trump. the paradigm of Obama and Trump let you know that black man's Harvard education is no match for a white man's luck.
It ain't even luck. It's
yeah.
fuck y'all, I'm the president. That's basically what Donald Trump, hey,
He gangstered.
fuck all y'all, I'm the president.
He just deboed the White House.
They not finna let no crazy white lady in here. He was telling y'all, this motherfucker crazy. She a criminal. Fuck her. And as crazy as he was,
I think he could have won on that platform.
as crazy as he was, yeah, I grab pussies. So fucking what? Pussies are for grabbing.
Pussies up for grabbing.
Listen,
That's why they come with a hole in it.
you got a hole. This shit's like a bowling ball. It's like a bowling ball for a nigga with nubs as fingers.
Pussies are for grabbing.
Hey.
I thought about it. Oh shit! I'm about it. Oh my
Donald
god!
Trumpism.
It comes with a finger slot.
That is so.
Finger
and then you put the two fingers in, put your finger, and these are on the thighs. These are on the thighs. You got the girl like this. You go, okay, bro. I know it's gonna look weird because you're gonna be rolling. You're gonna see ceiling floor bowling pins.
Going for the 10 pin.
But I need you to aim for that head pin, girl. I love you.
But to be honest, we have to come back and say it again, man.
Did I go too far? Is that too far?
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. Okay. As computers continue to become exponentially cheaper, smarter, and or even conscious, as a result, will your college degree lose significant value or eventually become irrelevant in the workplace? It's starting to happen. It's irrelevant now. True or false? Right? This is the best educated generation in history. True or false? Industry 4.0 will replace insurance underwriters and claims representatives. Damn. True or false? Industry 4.0 technology will replace bank tellers and representatives.
Oh, please. Yes.
First off, the ATM has already done it.
Yep.
Right.
So now when you see people working in the bank, what are they doing? There's more customer service. Hey, how can I help you? Hey,
Seriously. Do
you know we have a new savings account that you might like?
There's usually like one person in there sometime behind the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've never been. I noticed this in the 90s. There's never 22 tellers, even though it's 22 windows. You see the 22, there's the one long ass plexiglass.
Right.
So like wall. Oh, excuse me, like wall, and then it's got little windows cut out. Have you ever seen a teller at
Never,
all of them
ever.
at any time?
Illusion.
Ever?
Illusion. And you can deposit a check with your phone.
With your phone. Your
So,
phone
what the
is
fuck?
the
You don't need to go to
ATM.
the
Right,
damn
from
fucking
right
bank
here.
no more?
From right here.
This is why we promote Wanda Trotter.
Right.
I keep telling y'all, if you got a small business, you got to have an app. The app is the new
Storefront.
It's the new storefront. It's the new website. It's the new ATM. It's the new commerce.
You on the go. Basically what it is.
Gosh. True or false? A lack of jobs lead to a lack of purpose. Do you know this shit takes us all the way back to Buddha? Buddha.
What Buddha said?
The Sanskrit word for purpose is dharma. Nigga, what's your dharma?
The duty, baby.
What's your duty? You were told your duty was to be a slave. But slave inverted into the word work, which comes from the word worship. This is why if you look at the royals, they don't work. They don't consider you a gentleman if you work.
That's right.
The royals are like, oh, this nigga's a commoner. He works. Work is worship.
My son wants?
Exactly.
The fuck is this?
Do not alert him to my presence. I will deal with him myself.
Leave us.
Leave us.
Oha.
Leave us.
Dude, you know the heaviest line in that fucking movie to me?
What?
You ain't got enough money to buy me off. Nonsense. Motherfucker, you don't know.
Yeah.
My face is on money.
Yeah, nigga.
The fuck did you think? If I ask for all my money, they got to start up a printing machine. I ain't got enough money. Get the fuck out of here.
But do you understand?
Servants live better than you.
Do you understand where we live right now in today's world?
Well, jobs were never meant to be continuous anyway. It means a piece of work.
Thank you.
And even labor. Labor only means toilsome trouble
Till it's done.
or exertion of the body, hardship, suffering, and pain. That's what the word means.
Right.
So those two things, you were never meant to do that. The people who are actually, they have what they call careers. These are the people who are making things happen, or what you call creators. Creators are the ones who always make things
But
happen.
most motherfuckers are not creators. Most motherfuckers are mimickers.
Well, that's the point. That's where you're going back to saying the elites look at you like you work. Okay, they're busy creating shit, and then you make the shit that they think up.
That's
And
why I
then
love the movie.
Once you finish making it, all right, thanks.
That's why I love the movie The Network
The network.
about Facebook.
Oh,
Right?
right.
Yeah.
When the two twins came in
Right.
and was like, hey, he stole our ID. He
Right.
said, come up with another one.
Right.
That's what we do
Right,
here
right,
at
right.
Harvard.
Exactly.
We come up with ideas that put the rest of the world to work. Work is
Here's something brilliant. Now
Worship.
go do that.
right.
Yes.
It's worship.
Oh man, almost.
The motherfucking pharaohs weren't working. Those people who worked for them were serving them because the pharaoh was considered a god king.
Oh, I almost got put out of the Macy's in
Why? What did
Canoga
you-
Park.
Okay.
Just last week
we
because
go.
I was there. And not. I'm sorry, or the Nordstroms. I'm writing some shit for D.L. Hughley right now. Okay,
You stuttering right now, though.
because I'm trying to put this shit together the way it actually happened.
Let's see how it happens.
Okay. I was looking at some shoes,
And they was looking back.
they was looking back. They was looking back, especially all of a sudden I felt like a blue chip athlete who was being boxed out by all these salespeople. All of a sudden, when I walked my black ass over there, and they were trying to figure out, well, who the fuck is this nigga we don't recognize picking up this $400 shoe? And I asked them to go get it, and they were kind of hesitating. I said, yeah, this one, size 10 and a half. Those are the new. These are the new ones.
Size 10 and a half.
What they were trying to say is that this shoe is $400.
Right.
Where did you wander your raggedy ass in here from? Until DL walked up. Oh, so you must have some money because you know somebody with some money. And when they start acting happy, I said, hippity hop, mob, stop.
I'm out. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay? You pre-qualified me
As broke.
to buy this shoe as to whether I could or couldn't. And you know what I'm happy to stand here and say to y'all? In 5 years, a robot gonna be doing both of y'all jobs.
It's real.
That's some real shit.
That's what I was doing.
Most places where you are that's the good news, is that most places where you are prejudged, those people aren't gonna exist in 10 years. Most of the places where people look up and look down their nose at you
Right.
when you walk in a spot, there's not going to be a spot for them. Now the question they don't put the question in the rant.
Well, you know, like Prince, he had the thing where he was Yes We Code or something like that. He put together with Van Jones, and it was a program where he was funneling money to teach young kids, high school kids, how to code. And so he didn't tell anybody about that. Just him and Van Jones put that together. And
bunch
he
of
was just
stuff
doing that.
he wouldn't tell people.
You know, and so that's where, if you don't understand, that's where it's going. So he understood. Van Jones, he preaches this all the time. My homeboy Winston, his little son, wanted to play basketball at first. So he was really.
I remember.
He would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and come to LA Fitness and work out and do drills. He was hardcore. Then he went to a private school, and for the last couple of years, he's been at a private school. He's seen all the Caucasian kids walking around there with all this money and with their parents. He literally left basketball alone. He was good too. He was getting really good. He left basketball alone, became a programmer. Now at 16, 17, this dude makes
he's 17
$5,000
already?
It makes $5,000 makes $5,000 to do work on the computer for different people. Like $5,000 a job. Wow. This is what he's doing.
He was a little kid last time I heard.
Nah, this dude has businesses. He is hooking up cats on. He does websites, programming, all this shit, apps. He does all that shit, and that's 17. He ain't even out of high school yet. Somebody is doing that shit.
So I come back to this because Jeff's rant is coming quickly. Look, okay, so if you couple what I'm talking about right now, Industry 4.0. which means technology taking over, right? And let me give you a real breakdown of Industry 4.0 one more time, and then we can go to Jeff Brown's intellectual rant. Industry 4.0 involves enhancing people, which is some other shit, like some biometric enhancements, like integrating us with some kind of technology that makes us more efficient. It's allowing computers to take over what is considered now menial tasks. Because you got to understand, when the fucking bulldozer was created, niggas didn't have to dig ditches no more.
Right.
That job is gone. Ditch digging is done because of the bulldozer.
Right. The backhoe.
Right.
The backhoe.
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah, that backhoe eliminated a few jobs.
You understand? That backhoe ruined a few lives. But again, Industry 4.0 is like this. There's artificial intelligence. There's computing, the quantum computer, job losses. It's a lot going on with Industry 4.0. Now that that's clear, as a group of people, do you think for a fucking moment that it behooves us? See, because they'll say it behooves us as a nation to get on board in understanding what the fuck is going on. Right. But what about at the community level? I know Israel is prepared. As a community, Israel is like, Industry 4.0, yeah, we know all about that.
Oh, come on now.
Right.
They're the ones
How
creating that
come
shit.
Compton don't know?
Compton ain't supposed to
Because
know.
of New Jordans.
How come Oakland don't know about Industry 4.0?
Because of New Jordans, nigga, the New Jordans.
And why is it that niggas always got negative shit or the most negative shit to say about each other when we live in a perilous time? You know, I watched a show the other day. Have you seen this show? It's on Netflix. It's called Meat Eater. This motherfucker's just a hunter. In every sense of the word. Type of nigga to grab some grass and let the wind blow. Oh, yeah, we downwind.
Yeah, one of them dudes.
Type motherfucker that eat everything. Bears.
One of them dudes you can cut loose in the woods naked with a spoon in the winter.
Right.
And in the spring, he come out with a squirrel suit on.
Yes.
Yeah, just
yes,
made a
him.
suit out of squirrels with this spoon. Yeah, one of them white boys right there.
One of them. And what I recognize is we only have people who aspire to live an illusory image.
Yeah.
But we don't have any survivors.
We got symbol collectors.
We got symbol You better mother.
Let me collect these symbols. Okay.
We've got symbol collectors.
Yeah.
But we don't have any survivors.
No.
The world is changing. And it's changing under your nose, and you act like it ain't important. Right. So long as you can get a laugh on the weekend.
Right.
The comedy show make your life.
You turning your house into a museum, and the number one relic is your fucking mind.
Why would it
and
be
the
important?
number one relic
is your fucking mind.
Is your mind.
As is evidenced by all this shit that you have made into your museum.
Why would it be important, though? They've never been taught that science and technology is important to them. Which is actually their history. I mean, that's the shit.
Hold on. I can't let you just come in here and say that. Because it's the same logic you use on many shows.
Which is
They need to know this. They just need to figure
shit.
it out. You say this all the time.
Well,
Geek fight.
but
Go.
they need to understand what they were able to do first.
That's
If you're
exactly
di-
what
if
I
you're-
said
if
about
you're-
the shit you
if
be
you're-
talking.
Nerd fight.
No, it's not just exactly the same thing. It's not
That's
the same thing
exactly
at all.
the same thing.
No, it's not. I'm trying to teach them where they come from so they'll know where they're going. You just like, fuck it, just call them black. Just say black. I'm saying, look, let's teach them what black means so they'll learn how to stop saying black. But the technology side of the game, though, you created all this shit. All the shit, all the science
We
and
created
everything.
this?
All the shit that they're
You about to
using.
tell us the Moors created the technology? Here we go. And let's just pull. The Moors created bubblegum, nigga. No,
created
good.
They created air. No, but your Kemetans, well, if I'm going back to the Kemetans who were actually Moors, the word Kemet, which means the dark land, the word chem in it, it produced the word alchemy and chemistry. So this is what you get this from. And the reason they use the word chem is because of carbon. See, if you understand science, if you want to change any substance to another, you have to change the electron of the carbon electron. So they understood this, and this is just basic science today. Like if you want to get anything as far as matter, you just add some electrons or take some electrons from the carbon. So this is what they understood. This is the technology, science and chemistry. This is where alchemy comes from. Alchemy means to change, is usually to change base metals into gold using secret knowledge. But it produced alchemy, which is changing one matter into different matter by using the carbon atom. So this is all your science. You learn this. So on time, this is what you've lost. The science of this is what you've lost. And you think that, oh, they created all this bullshit. But everything around you is all the shit that you were using at one point. That even the pyramids are big electromagnetic antennas. They're not just big ass buildings. They're putting out electromagnetic waves and creating a electromagnetic field over that area. But you don't understand that. You are the masters of technology and science, but you run from it today. If you go back and understand who you were and how you mastered it, you can do that today.
All right. Well, listen. You're listening to the ZOWHAT Morning Show. We're talking about technological unemployment. And you know niggas be begging. Niggas would be begging for a way out. Somebody create a system that I can find a nice little comfortable perch on. No. In the new world, you're going to have to be the creator, the co-creator of your existence.
How about it?
In the new world, you're not going to have to find your identity in a job somebody told you meant something. You're going to be the architect of your reality. You got motherfuckers complaining about Donald Trump right now. That fucking tax bill is going to destroy middle-class black families. Oh, black people are going to take a L on this one.
Liggity.
But guess what? You ain't built shit. So you're subject to the whims of who gets in office and who cares about you. Or not.
You don't learn. I mean,
That's what we saying, Kev.
But
We're saying that
right. But
currently.
how to go back. Like I was telling you about the Land of the Lost episodes. That show, The Land of the Lost. Anybody listening, go back.
Ain't nobody gonna watch no sleek stacks.
Sleek stacks, nigga. What you know about the sleek stacks? Tell them.
I'm about to break you down. So
Break that sleek stack shit down.
the first season of Land of the Lost, you need to watch episode 6 and episode 9. In episode 6, so you in the Land of the Lost, these humans they fall down a waterfall and they go back into the Land of the Lost where they have dinosaurs and all these prehistoric animals. So when they're there, they meet something called a sleek stack, which are reptilian beings who can't talk. They just mindless creatures. However, they meet another reptilian being, one of the sleek stacks. He's intelligent. He can talk. His name is Enoch. Enoch is the ancient name. If you switch the I and the K, it's Enki, and that's from the ancient god of Sumeria, one of the creator gods of Sumeria.
But how does that factor into what we talking
dope
about?
wheels.
I'm about to break it down.
Well, shit, hurry up, nigga. This radio. Can't nobody see you now. This radio, you gotta speed it up.
Can I get this shit out, nigga?
Yes, nigga, hurry up.
Right, damn. Shit, nigga.
God damn, nigga.
So, him being intelligent, as when they meet him, there's something in Land of the Lost called pylons. The word pylon means gateway to Egypt. So when you open these pylons and you go in, it's infinite space on the inside where it looks like it's a little pyramid on the outside. Now, as the guy's talking to the humans, he says he thinks that he's in the past because there's all these dinosaurs and everything. But then when he goes to the Lost City, he understands that that's actually his future. He's like, oh, I've made a grave mistake. I've used the pylon and come back. I've actually come in ahead of time, and we've actually devolved. And he didn't understand what happened to his people, that they were this super educated, intelligent people who created everything, and they devolved into these mindless creatures. And so he didn't understand what was happening. So he basically found out that they turned on each other and started fighting and used the knowledge against each other. And this is how they devolved into mindless creatures. But then in episode 9, they meet another one who can talk. And he says, oh, every now and then, the knowledge of our ancestors, it's born in one of us in today. And so that we have the knowledge of the universe, but we don't have the knowledge of the technology. He says, we don't understand how to work the technology, but we do have the science of the universe.
Are you saying
Well, I'm saying
tie it together, because I'm trying to understand.
What I'm saying is, you, as they're showing you in Land of the Lost, you created all of this damn science. Like it's
you don't know.
You're saying the technology that's happening right now.
The technology that's happening right now in the Land of the Lost, it was technology.
And you have devolved into mumble rap.
Right, you have devolved into these dumbass motherfucking mindless ass creatures, just like and they're telling you this whole goddamn thing. Like even the words they use. Like, it was the dinosaur they named Salima. Salima is Arabic for protector, and he said that. And he said, "What does Salima mean?" He said, "It means protector." You look it up. It's Arabic for protector. This is all your knowledge that they're telling you used to know, and you don't know this shit no more. So you're a dumbass motherfucker. We
went from reasons to
exactly. And Land of the Lost is blatant about it though. They don't even try to hide the shit.
Right.
All right, so look, we got to take a quick break so we can get to Jeff's intellectual rant. You're listening to the ZOWHAT Morning Show. Today's topic is technological unemployment, or Industry 4.0, a deeper look at the rise of the fourth industrial revolution and how technology is destroying our jobs. We'll be back in a second.
The name of the rant? What the fuck does this have to do with the Amish? Back in.
We'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, the ZOWHAT Morning Show. Back in the building. You already know what it is. Today's topic, technological unemployment. We're talking about Industry 4.0. Will it kill all of our jobs? Well, it's 12:17 p.m. on the West Coast. That means it's 3:17 p.m. on the East. And we're 17 minutes behind schedule, so you already know whose turn it is. Jeff Brown's intellectual rant is at you right now. Let's go.
Since we're behind time, I'm not going to waste any. We're all fucked. Back to you, Zo. No. Let me. Wow. Man, oh man. What the fuck does this have to do with the Amish? Think about this for a second. Even during the era when you could come home and brag, I'm a forklift operator for Captain Crunch. Like in the 70s, that was hot. Even from that time, from that time to this one, the Amish, even before that, have been disconnected, but not from one another. They just disconnected from this bullshit.
Right.
So if the dollar crashes tomorrow, that ain't gonna make them chickens not lay any less eggs. It's not gonna make the buildings any harder for them to build from the trees that they cut down from the land that they own, because they were never stuck in this business. Bad news, black women that make your list of what a man gotta be. In the future, the dudes you wouldn't fuck in high school are the only ones that fit that list now. We were talking about Hyundai earlier. Hyundai and Fox Television followed the same formula. Let's get into the market with the interests and money of a group of people that we have absolutely no interest in fucking with, and as soon as we don't have to, we ain't gonna. Hyundai came into the American market making baby mama mobiles. Once they got it, they always had the technology. They always had it. They just knew you wasn't gonna accept a car on the level of Germans from Koreans just yet. So we're gonna make bullshit cars that only last almost as long as it takes to pay for them to get niggas to generate our capital. And then we gonna make these fly ass cars. The same shit Fox did by starting their programming with all shit black people like. And once they got up on their feet, fuck y'all niggas, we Fox News now. Big question. What they gonna do with all these spare niggas? We got a lot of spare niggas now. What they gonna do? We don't have no jobs for them. That's what FEMA is about. That's what all these mass graves is about. Look on the wall, those of you who brag of, especially black. Oh my God. I know so many unimpressive black college graduates. A great many of them live in Altadena, California. A great many of them follow this paradigm. Your parents came out here in the 40s, 50s, and 60s with the work ethic of the people before them, busted their asses, and were catapulted into the upper middle class by the real estate boom. So they became bougie by default. Sent your ass out into the world with none of the skills and morals that they were given. And you went off to HBCUs, learned how to step, came back home, and now you living in the same house you grew up in waiting on your parents to die. I know 20 people who fit that fucking description. Your diploma is nothing but a bill for your parents. I refuse to teach my children the bullshit that I was taught. Stop prepping your kids for your past instead of for their future. Right now, go to school, get good grades, go to college, get a job. It's prepping your kids for 1974. Stop that shit. If you don't, life is going to stop it for you. Wealth creates crime because it's needed. In order to be wealthy, someone has to suffer. You can be rich without suffering. You can't be wealthy. You cannot make it to build. There is a, as infinite as the universe is, there is a finite number of usable resources on this planet at one time. The only way to accumulate wealth is to covet it. When you covet enough of it, then you get people to suffer. Yes, we could feed everybody on the earth with what we throw away. We just can't do it for free. That's why we don't do it. Why is it that HBCU credits don't transfer to other universities? Because they shouldn't. They shouldn't. If you coming out of a black school brilliant, the fuck you gotta go to another school for? Unless you don't want to be brilliant amongst your own kind. What? You can take all this shit you got. If you brilliant motherfucker who came out of an HBCU got together with the NFL players that on a Sunday, all the black ones said, okay, we gonna suit up, go out here on the field, and then we gonna stand up and say psych and get in our expensive cars and roll the fuck off on 3. Ready? Break. If you got with them and started doing like the Amish did and started to pool your resources and pool your connections and make whatever currency flow through your hands majorly, then you wouldn't give a fuck about these robots. You wouldn't give a fuck about the fact that technology is forcing capitalism to eat itself. Technology is making capitalism eat itself. Why? We don't really need this technology. We don't. If power went out tomorrow, the Amish would still survive. It's possible to survive without this shit. It's possible to say enough is enough, but you can't do that if you're trying to feed this fucking dragon called capitalism. It's gotta eat. Pretty soon, because of usury or interest and greed, this capitalism monster has eaten everything. It's eaten everything. So now it's eaten itself. And guess who's watching the show? The Amish. Be like the Amish.
Be like the Amish, my friend.
I'm Jeff Brown.
Yes, the Amish.
Be like the Amish.
Jeff Brown's intellectual rant inciting intellectual.
We got new robots at
Enlightening.
McDonald's. I don't give a fuck. Here. They don't give a fuck about that shit.
But let's go deeper into the education piece.
Yes, sir.
We've turned education into a race where we collect medals at the end. Right? The medals are, the little, the diplomas on the wall, right? We've turned that into a race.
I graduated summa cum dum dum.
Right. But let me tell you what education is about. What up, Skate? Let me tell you. Education is about the expansion of the mind, the expansion of the consciousness. At the end of the day, we haven't expanded on consciousness.
No, at all.
We just got a certain set of... Look, I love Robert Anton Wilson. He said, education is for specialization. Then he goes on to say, specialization is for insects, not humans.
Damn.
He said a human has a multiple, the multiplicity of capacity in the human brain is crazy.
Right.
We could do multiple shit, learn multiple disciplines. We could do a lot with this brain.
Right.
It is a supercomputer. However, an insect, nigga, if you born a drone, that's it.
That's what I do.
You're a drone. If you're born one of the warrior bees sitting out front,
That's it.
that's it. If you're born, what are those little helper bees on the inside?
Right. Little worker drone bees.
So he basically said that, specialization is for insects. But what happens? You're pushed into specialization at a young age. What do you want to be when you grow up?
Well, you got to decide whether you're going to be a thinker or a doer.
Regardless of whatever it is, though, you need to figure out that your brain, that your mind is capable of multiple things. You know how many times you got to tear down and rebuild your life, especially when life punches you in the mouth? You have to have a resilient mind
Right.
that can recover from life's setbacks, which are really setups.
That's it.
Now, this is where I agree with Denzel Washington on. Teaching your kid that a setback is a setup happens at the crib.
Yes. Teaching your kids when life pull his dick out, are you going to be a victim or a photographer? You think about that shit. You can't come up with that shit unless you're drunk or high.
But
When life pull a dick out.
do you understand what I'm saying? You don't have to specialize in everything.
No.
Like, for instance, let me give you a perfect example of specialization gone wrong. Ben Carson
Oh, God.
specializes in being a brain surgeon. But the rest of his life is dumb. The rest of his mind is dumb.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you heard some of the stupid shit came out of his mouth? Because he hasn't developed perspective.
Yeah.
A mind is like a diamond. The more facets, the more it shines.
Wow.
Facets are tantamount to perspectives.
Just because he can cut his head open, just because he can cut your head open, don't mean he can use his.
He might be the Einstein of brain surgery. But politics?
He don't know fuck.
The fuck?
He can tell you all the nutrients in the banana and can't peel it.
They can't peel it. Do you understand what I'm saying? The human mind. Look at language in the human mind. Kev knows a little about this too. Language in the human mind. Start young. When the mind has something called when the brain has something called neuroplasticity. The neurons are flexible. A baby can learn multiple languages at the same goddamn time. English, Spanglish, Spanish, Arabic, whatever the fuck that child is exposed to at a young age, that kid can pick up them languages quickly. But as you get older, you lose some neuroplasticity. In other words, the ideas and the pathways that you think is true get concretized. They get concrete, hard and inflexible. So come on.
Paved over.
Exactly. So here we are today talking about relationships as it pertains in the new world. That's why I had to do the topic technological technological unemployment. Basically saying the machines are smarter than you. The machines can do the work faster and more efficiently than you can. Now, you're going to have to use your brain power to find your purpose. How the fuck do you find your purpose? Jeff, what's your purpose, nigga? And how did you find it?
I found my purpose by being honest about what it was I was good at. I think a lot of times people confuse their purpose with their interest. Sometimes your interest ain't got a fucking thing to do with your purpose.
That's good.
I am incredibly interested in fabricating. You couldn't have told me in 1,000 years when I was 9 years old that I wasn't going to be an automobile designer. Love cars, love them. I am the last nigga you want anywhere near a welding
You'll
torch.
tear some shit up, won't
weld
you?
cutting that you do not. But I love it. If I hit Powerball, I would get the best fabricators in the world to.
And you would watch them.
I would. They would make my real shit, and I'd be over here in my own remedial class trying to make some shit because that's what I really love. I really do. I have a passion for cars and building them. I suck at it. So I'm not supposed to be a mechanic. I'm not supposed to be a fabricator as much as I love it. What the creator saw fit for me to do
was comedy.
It was this wordsmith shit.
Right.
This wordsmith.
This funny
music.
shit.
I would trade, to be honest with you. And what it is about obeying your purpose. I would trade my ability to turn a phrase if I could do beats like fucking James Broadway. Jesus Christ.
He better than you.
Oh, nigga, are you kidding me?
You should quit.
Do you know how many times I've listened to Broadway's beats and almost put all my shit on Craigslist? The fuck am I doing with my time?
Craigslist?
Yes. But I know that I do, I make a little coin with the little beats that I do. But I know better than to try to feed my goddamn family with this shit because I ain't gonna have no family. Because that's not my purpose. My purpose is something to do with right, and I'm still seeking out exactly what it is at 52 years old. But it's about having the balls, the testicular fortitude to disconnect yourself from the system and say, I am going to follow my purpose. I don't give a shit how much broken glass and razor blades and pimp piss it drags me through.
Jeff, how many people are afraid to follow their purpose because that job is the safety net? Go.
Well, I don't even have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. Okay? You got to be able to be a wheel in your job's machine while simultaneously making your job a wheel in your machine. Your job's supposed to be a wheel in your machine. It's supposed to be a wheel, a means to an end.
Hold on,
Trying to keep your job forever is like trying to ride around in an Uber for fucking ever. Forever.
I got it.
Forever.
Uber.
Yeah, forever. I'm gonna ride in it. I'm gonna ride
Hail
in it and
Uber.
keep this fucking bill running. Not drive Uber, ride in it.
Kev, what's your purpose and how did you discover it?
Well, early on, I just basically like telling stories. So I used to write as a kid, and so that was kind of I found I had a talent for doing that, and I loved the movies. So I entered film school and to tell stories, then found out the film industry was some bullshit. So I turned away from that, and I wasn't on knowledge at the time. And then I kind of had a little lull in that. Then when I came actually to the Tabernacle, and
You mean my bookstore?
I was on, yeah,
Shit.
and I was on.
Sound like you
I
still
was a
looking.
Christian. I was on some Christian shit. And from that point on, when you broke down, you were breaking down the history of words and the history of Christianity. Because I was actually into that, searching for things and figuring out and wanting to know the truth of stuff. So when I actually came there and you were breaking down the actual truth and the history of Christianity, that actually led me to find out on a path to figuring out all the shit.
Some other shit.
Yeah,
You're right.
So I was like, oh shit, if I didn't know just that little bit of shit, how much other shit done I know?
Right.
So I went on some crazy ass tear for like a year. I locked myself in a house for a year and just learned every book I had and didn't come outside.
See?
So that's how I found my purpose. I'm like, look at all the shit that has been hidden from us
Right.
that we don't know. If very few of us have this information, then if the universe entrusts you with this information, it's up to you to pass it on.
Right.
So that's how I found my purpose. I'm like, okay, the universe, you were one of the lucky ones that the universe entrusted this information to.
Right.
And it's up to you to pass it on. So
Right.
that's how I found my purpose at that point. And then
That's dope.
found the two things that actually able to, further down the line, found the two things were actually able to come together. I was actually able to use my film education to actually tell the knowledge. So that's how it worked out.
Listen. Let me just break this down. Industry 4.0 is the name for the current trend of automation and data exchange in manufacturing technologies. Right? The first industry that came about was the mechanization of water power and steam power. The second, I don't ever remember seeing people texted me. I'm sorry. The second was mass production, assembly line, electricity. The third industry was computer and automation. And now the fourth is cyber physical systems. Listen, your job is about to be ghost, my nigga. Your job that you so proud of, that you have identified yourself with. Listen, let me tell you something. If your book, your holy book says that God is the ocean and you're a drop, and the drop is still the ocean even though it's a drop, but you've identified yourself with work, you gonna forget you God. It's coming.
It's what I am.
Work is being taken out. So the number one factor that's fucking black people up as a community is the poor quality of our relationships. Well, if all of our relationships are predicated on capitalism, consumerism, what's gonna happen to your love life when human labor loses value? Jeff Brown said it 2-3 years ago. He said, lady, how you gonna judge a man, the quality of a man, when the dollar collapses? Well, there's motherfuckers out there. I just told you I watched a TV show on Netflix called Meat Eater. All this nigga do, the motherfucker is camouflaged 89% of the show. Yeah, the other 11% of the show, he in the kitchen showing you how to cook what he just killed. Do you
Hey.
like But this is what I'm saying. Like when we look at the arguments that's happening, I got you on camera just ignoring everything. It's fine. But when we, do you understand what I'm saying? When we listen to some of the beefs that are going on in our community between men and women, you ain't a man based on what? You ain't got a job. Okay, let's look at the numbers. 1.8 million of us are in jail. 30% of us are high school dropouts. Should we keep going? Yeah. You motherfuckers outweigh us in terms of how many sisters are in school and how many sisters are graduating with degrees. You guys are integrated more so into this current system than we are. Doesn't mean it ain't a lot of us in the system. And the ones that are in the system, the brothers that are in the system, that go to college, that graduate from college, fuck mad women. You know why? Because they're in high demand.
High demand. That's right.
So you sitting here waiting on him to get over his dick and settle down because you've made that into a type of maturity.
Right.
Well, once you get it out your system, then maybe you can come back. What? What kind of cartoon beliefs you got going on? We live in a fucked up world right now.
I got some great news for the fellas. Fellas, women who tell you you ain't no, and let's just be honest. You are a man by virtue of chronology. If you make it to 18 and dodge death, congratulations, you're a man. What kind of man are you? Are you a responsible man? Are you an active man? Are you a proactive man? Are you a shitty man? You in the race, nigga. Some of y'all just last. I'm not excusing you. I'm discussing the women who try to job shame you by connecting it to your manhood. Two things you tell them. One, the good news is you don't have to deal with me anymore because from my position, I am firing you because black men outnumber black women. Not all women, just black women. 8.5 to 1. Counting the no man ass niggas like me. Two, here's the bad news for you. That dude you describing, he's fucking your niece. He's not looking for you. He's not looking
for the 23-year-old, 25-year-old.
You trying to be, that dear women
Tenderoni.
who from your menial position in life that downgrade men talking about he ain't no man because he got a job. That dude that you have to be what you looking for. That dude that you looking for, it's a woman somewhere better at being what she looking for than you. You competing with Stella, bitch. Remember when Stella got her groove back? Stella was in shape.
Yep.
Stella was making six figures.
Nice job. Yep.
Yeah. Stella didn't have a used. Stella didn't have a used Ford Aspire with 3 kids, bitch. That's who I'm talking about. Talking about how dudes ain't got shit. Is he supposed to get with you and get some more shit? Or is he supposed to get some shit so he can take care of some shit that you made? The fuck out of here with that shit.
So let me come back. There are people in here complaining about a free video that they can't hear. So let me show you how to listen. Go to dashradio.com/-talk and you can hear the audio crisp and clear. This was a service to you. Like, okay. So let me come back.
Complaining ass.
Shit. We can't hear. Maybe roll your windows up.
Turn your light down.
Turn your light down, goddammit. Nah, but a lot of powerful points are being made right now. And the reason why I did this show was because I need our people, brothers and sisters, to know, like, we live in a tough time where everything that we thought was the truth is being reshaped right under our feet.
Right now.
I was first introduced to my purpose when I was 21. I was introduced to my purpose when I was 21. But let me explain. It was a reintroduction. When I was in the 3rd grade, I used to teach Bible shit. You know why? Because by the time I was in the 3rd grade,
You read the whole book?
I had 600 verses memorized.
How about it?
Now, my mother had me in some kind of Christian shit,
My baby prophesying.
but I had 600 verses like this. Pow, pow. I had awards, Bible, recitation, what is Matthew 4:17? Oh, I had it. But in the 3rd grade, I was talking to this little kid. It was at Audubon.
Audubon.
In Altadena. I was 8 years old, 3rd grade, Audubon, Altadena.
Okay.
This white boy, his name was Bobby. No, excuse me, Billy. Bobby Sanchez is the fat Mexican I got into a fight with and I bit his ass. Oh, I'm sorry. I had some big ass church shoes on. I kicked the shit out of Bobby. I'm sorry. I digress. This was when I discovered my purpose. Billy was this white dude. And he was talking about suicide in the 3rd grade. So I started telling him about how that wasn't right and how you're a soul. And I started using these Bible verses. And he was like, you know what? You're right, Mac. That's what they used to call me when I was in the 3rd grade, Mac. You're right, Mac. Not until I was 21 did I rediscover that feeling when I started researching and studying for myself. My mother was disappointed because I became a Muslim. She's like, you've always been a Christian. You accepted Jesus into your heart when you was a baby. You can't undo it. I said, oh, shit. Okay. We can't talk to mom about this
You
anymore.
can't unaccept it.
Right. But I will say this.
What is he, a vampire?
I started studying all this information. Started getting it. And then when I turned 23, this girl who I was dating, her mother was like, you're a universal teacher. She did some numerology shit. She was like, all your numbers come back as universal teacher.
Wow.
I was like, really? Oh, what the fuck does that mean? She was like, this is why I don't want you with my daughter. I don't know why Antonio Moore would call during the show. It's just kind of what he does. He should stop. But let me just finish. She was like, this is why I don't want you with my daughter. She said, because you can't belong to a person. You belong to the universe. You're here to teach. I went and studied the shit she was studying because none of that shit made sense to a 22-year-old,
right,
23-year-old. So I studied it and all my numbers was coming back as that. Then this motherfucker right here, Kevin, turned me on to those cards.
Man, that's
them weird ass cards.
Destiny cards.
Yeah.
Those are off the chain.
Them cards. What did the card say?
9 of clubs.
The universal knowledge giver.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I gotta find
Wait,
the cards.
what is one of the occupations of the universal knowledge giver?
Teacher?
Not only teacher, radio personality.
Radio person.
And specifically for my birthday, it says on-air radio personality.
Wow.
Same card as Tony Robbins.
So I was like, oh, well, there you have
Well,
it.
goddamn, which card I got? I need to find
Nick,
out.
hey, can I tell my story? You had your story.
All right, my bad.
And you had a rant.
And a rant. Goddamn.
Shit.
Shit.
This is my story now.
You want to talk this much, man? Wait till Thursday.
Shit, man, Get in there and get,
Do your thing.
inappropriate, Shit. But this is how I discovered my shit. It's teaching. And then I recognized, man, you have an amazing and indelible effect on youth, on young people. When my son, his team, they be like, can I talk to your dad?
Right.
Let me get a little bit of the shit you got, my nigga. They be on him for that. Like,
No.
and when he was younger,
Find your own daddy.
when he was younger, he was like that.
This one's mine.
New was like,
Nah.
no.
Pops, don't be talking to me.
Because I'll see some of his homies. I'll be like, yo, come here. Let me holler at you. New be like, hey.
That's the golden
Don't be
knowledge, nigga.
don't be giving them out the magic elixir.
Right. New 12, 11, 13. Hey.
Yeah,
No, Dad. Not him. No.
I didn't tell your mama to fuck that horrible dude that you came out of.
But I'm giving all of this to you by saying, with the advent of what they're calling smart factories,
Wow.
your human labor, your degrees, all of that shit is losing value
As we speak.
as we speak. Now you got to go on a journey to find your purpose. It's right brain creative motherfuckers that are taking over the world. Elon Musk is a right brain creative motherfucker.
Just brought out the electric train.
Where
Electric truck.
right. Where are the Elon Musks in the black community? You know we got them.
Man,
Right.
We just got to shift our focus.
gotta have some
from,
engineers.
From consumerism to creativity.
However, Elon Musk grew up with money.
Oh,
So
of
it
course.
was easy for him to, kind of slide into that where he didn't have to deal with all the
Well, of course.
stresses of living.
Of course.
in the hood.
But Einstein grew up broke
Yeah.
until that one day.
Still grew up Caucasian.
It was 1 year. That motherfucker had 1 year they called a miracle year. Caucasian my ass. This motherfucker wrote four of the world's most incredible papers in 1 year. E equals MC squared. Fucking. First off, he was a terrible student.
Right. Stuttered.
Pisces.
Stuttered, get to talk shit.
Didn't speak till he was 5.
Rebellious. You know, he had all that shit.
Dyslexic.
Now, I will give you the credit that the motherfucker was white. And white goes a long way in this world. But what I'm saying is, if once we get the knowledge of what we need to do and the direction we need to go in, we need to come together and start working with each other, because the smart factory is going to challenge all the sisters and all the brothers. Because you got brothers out there acting like sisters saying, well, she got to have as much as I have.
Right. What the
Y'all
hell?
motherfuckers is about to hit the fence. Y'all don't see it. Let me tell you something about creating your own business. Creating your own business is not creating nail polish. That's a product.
Right.
That's still consumerism. No disrespect to anybody out there creating lipstick and nail polish and shit like that. Do it until you can't do it no more.
No more.
But that shit ain't finna save you.
No.
Where is the brother who's gonna create the next iteration of the cloud?
Yes.
Engineers.
Engineering.
He's behind bars.
you need.
Or he's dead.
Who
You
is
killed
the
him.
next brother that's going to find the next Higgs boson? The God particle, as they call it. This is the direction we need to be in. And it's about raising kids to understand the possibilities of everything. We got motherfuckers locked into that old thing. You heard it, Jeff. You mentioned it today. I'm going to tell you again. Education is great as long as you're expanding your consciousness. If you're learning how to be a fucking specialist, you will be replaced sooner or later.
Yeah, because what
Because whatever the fuck you specialize in, somebody can do it.
Right.
Or some machine will be able to do it.
here's to go deeper, to coin a phrase of a friend of mine.
That
If
nigga.
you are a specialist, the root word in specialist is special,
Yes.
which means that thing that you're a specialist in will one day not be that special.
Wow.
Look at that movie Hidden Figures, when those ladies, the computer ladies
Yes.
at NASA, when they brought in the IBM computer, and they were like, oh shit, and she saw they brought that computer, and
better
she
learn
saw
how
the
to run
writing
this
on the wall.
motherfucker.
She was like, oh shit, they about to try and get rid of us. So she went and stole the book from the library on how to program that motherfucker, and made herself valuable that they couldn't fire her.
Gotta make yourself necessary. White folks only deal with the niggas they have to.
Oh, let me just address this brother real quick. What is his name? Adair Sabir on Twitter. He said he tried calling. Listen, the phone line in here isn't a good one.
Yeah.
I didn't want him to be cut off while he was talking, so we couldn't take the call. But he brought up some great points. Number one, population increasing while jobs and resources are decreasing.
What we gonna do with all these extra niggas?
What's going to happen? And this is something they're concerned about. When I say they're, I'm talking about the dominant society is concerned about across the board.
Some old white man is rubbing his evil chin about this shit.
So this goes back to Jeff Brown's analogy: when white America is sick, Black America is terminal.
Yeah.
So just keeping it in context to that. Number two, he says climate effects and Antarctic bases, treaties, and Kurzweil Biotech. And Kurzweil was the guy who created that keyboard. You got to get some of his books. Quincy Jones put me up on his books.
Oh, Kurzweil. Yeah, I got
Kurzweil.
Kurzweil. I had a couple of I had a K25 for a while. Yeah. Go ahead.
Listen, we're in trouble if we don't come together and figure out how to create a future for ourselves in this new world.
My brother.
Listen, it's 12:55. You already know it's time for us to wrap up the show. Jeff, where can they find you?
They can find me this Thursday on the Inappropriate Hour with Jeff Brown. You can find me tomorrow on the D.L. Hughley radio program.
All right.
Wednesday. And
Shenanigans versus
doing shenanigans.
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 That's gotta be your topic, bro.
Seriously, bro.
All right. And Kev, where can they find you, brother? How do they support what you're doing?
You can find me on YouTube, the Real Nagas YouTube channel, REELNAGAS. If you want any information, we got the video classroom on there. But if you guys want the documentary series that I'm doing, The Dragon and the Phoenix, Zoe said it should be called The Face of the Dragon. If you guys think he's right, please hit me up with that. But go to patreon.com, patreon/realnagas, and subscribe.
Yes. I vote
There
for
it
face
is.
of, I vote for not the Face of the Dragon, but like in the Facebook, just Face it.
Face of the Dragon.
Face of the Dragon.
All right.
Face of
All
the
right.
Dragon.
That's two for that one.
All right. So listen, I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. That's tonight from 5 to 7 p.m. That's where you can catch me. We're going to have another intriguing conversation. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. We out of here. Deuces.
Peace.